the game off with a solo home run yesterday. First pitch by Maynard outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. First pitch coming at 1:05 on the dot. Holly's 3 for 7 in the series with 2 runs, an RBI, a home run, and a stolen base for her. Maynard, the 1-0, swung on and fouled back towards the Penn State dugout, and the count moves 1-1.
For the third straight day, Adam, too, the wind is just helping these hitters, blowing out to the outfield. Yesterday, we were talking about the wind gusts a lot, which definitely helped go into right field, but third day in a row where it's been more favorable for the hitters.
Yeah, wind not as strong today as it's been all weekend. As you can see, a great crowd behind home plate. It's a beautiful day. A lot of people in short sleeves. Up near the 70s today. The 1-1 outside, and the count moves 2-1. Our home plate umpire will be Gil Zayas today. Elizabeth Hammerschmidt over at first, and John Schaefer at third. So same crew, just everyone moving a position today in the umpiring crew here. They've been good all weekend at all 3 positions. The 2-1, that one swung on and popped up out into center. Liana Jones going back onto the track, sets and makes the catch. And there's a first out for the Nittany Lions. We'll take a look at the Penn State defense here. It's been good all weekend. Paige Maynard, as we mentioned, will be in the circle for the Nittany Lions. Gabby Garcia will be behind home plate. Gianna Paletti over at first. Caitlin Morrison at second. Giselle Hernandez at short. And Emily Maddock at third. Outfield, Maddie Gordon moves from right field to left field. Liana Jones out in center, just made the catch. And Haley Brunson will be out in right field. Not designated player today, will be out in the field as Brooke Clausewitz takes her spot as the designated player. First pitch misses for a ball to Anna Fox, who shoots up the lineup today as Macy Lee is out. She's now batting second.
Yeah, you mentioned Brooke Clausewitz is in today as the designated player. She had that 2 RBI single yesterday, so rewarding her with more at-bats today, getting the starting nod.
1-0 outside, and it's 2-0 to Anna Fox, the senior. Fox looking at her series. She's 1 for 5 with a stolen base. Kind of puts her up there. A lot of speed on the base pass, so she's able to find her way on. The 2-0 from Maynard. That one low, gets by Garcia, sits right under, and the count moves 3-0. So 3 straight balls from Maynard here to Fox.
Yeah, you mentioned she has speed, running up in the zone, trying to put the ball on the ground and trying to use her speed to beat out any play and get to first base.
I think she's taken the entire way here with a 3-0 count. The 3-0, that one in there for a strike right down the middle, and the count's 3-1. Infield is in a little bit. You can kind of see Giselle Hernandez playing up near the circle, as well as Caitlin Morrison. Paletti and Maddock hugging inside as well. Ready for a little slap hit in the shallow infield. The 3-1, that one high, and it'll be a walk, and Michigan State gets a base runner here in the top of the first.
You mentioned the umpire crew, Adam. We have not had to talk about them a lot, which is a good sign if you're an umpire. The less we talk about you, most likely the better, as has been a lot of controversial calls.
Well, I mean, Chris, I like to talk about them and compliment them a little bit sometimes, just as Sydney Dolazecki steps in, the right fielder. Batting .240 on the year. First pitch swinging and fouls it back into the net. We mentioned Anna Fox has some speed out there on the base pass, so Penn State going to have to be careful. 4 for 4 on stolen bases this season for Fox.
Yeah, talk about being aggressive, especially in the early innings. This would be a good opportunity to try to get a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
The 0-1 from Maynard, that one in there for a strike, and quickly working ahead 0-2 to Dolazecki, who had been batting in the 2 spot this series, now moves down to the 3 as Macy Lee is out 1 for 7 on the series, so struggling a little bit, but a very dangerous hitter. Came into this series in her last 5 games, 9 for her last 15. Before the slow start to this one, the 0-2 outside. Garcia pump fakes down to Paletti over at first, doesn't make the throw, and the count moves 1-2.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that from Gabby Garcia, very aware of the runners on the base paths. And she does have a very good arm, too, so ready to throw it on a second if needed.
Maynard takes a peek at the wristband, and here will be the 1-2 delivery. That one outside. Good job by Garcia just to make the catch. And one nearly got away from her and would have allowed Fox to advance in scoring position. Count moves 2-2 here.
We didn't see her have to throw out anyone yesterday, but we did see that throw that she had in that double play where she threw out McAnthony going to second base in the play that ended the inning yesterday.
Maynard takes a peek. Infield at double play depth here for the Nittany Lions. The 2-2. One outside, and after getting 2 straight strikes, 3 straight balls from Maynard, and the count works full. We've got to find the zone here. Don't want to walk 2 on for the Spartans and let them get some momentum with some base runners out there. So see what Paige Maynard can do. 3-2 count, 1 out here in the top of the first. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, and Paige Maynard's got her first strikeout of the day here in the top of the first. There's 2 down.
Yeah, way to respond there from Paige Maynard. You talked about that was a big pitch with a full count. Don't want to let two people on because now we have Britton Beshears coming up, who does lead the team in RBI, so you don't want to put more people on the base paths for her. So it was an important pitch, threw a strike, and got Cindy Dolazecki out on that one.
Britt Beshears batting .259 on the year, the four-hitter. First pitch outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. For Maynard, it's a strikeout. She doesn't have many, only 31 2/3 innings pitched. Only her 11th strikeout for her, so she's not someone who usually pitches for contact. Able to get the punch out there, and there's 2 down in the top of the first. We mentioned Beshears up 30 RBIs on the year, 11 home runs, so a dangerous hitter. That one, unable to frame it, was Garcia, and the count's 2-0.
Yeah, it was a good pitch in the outside corner. Gabby Garcia tried her best there, but
Clarissa Crowell disagrees in the dugout as she kind of stood up a little bit and said, okay, I'll try to get that pitch later on, I'm sure. They'll go back to it. The 2-0, that one swung on and popped up out of play. Got to be on the lookout. Bounces off the wall. We'll skip into the stands. Packed house. Looks like there's Chris Peterson over there, who is James Franklin sports information person, if you don't know. Kind of deals with the media. Also working here at softball, able to make the catch. Maynard the 2-1, swing and a miss. Stealing's Fox. The throwdown will not be in time as gets off base. So a stolen base for Anna Fox, and she'll be in scoring position. Was a strike, so the count moves 2-2. Good jump there by Fox off the base there, Chris.
yeah, really got a good jump, as you said. And then now you have a runner in scoring position, so a single could potentially score a run, and it's smart with 2 outs.
Maynard, the 2-2 pitch. That one grounded over. It'll get through for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Fox. Correction, no, they're going to say foul. I thought that one stayed inside the base paths, but guess maybe I missaw it there. Gil Zayas, the home plate umpire, says otherwise, and they'll do the 2-2 again.
Yeah, those are extremely difficult to judge. And as soon as that play happened, the home plate umpire, as you said, ruled it foul, but it seemed like that one could have gone either way.
You saw the stolen base there. Fox showing the speed. Again, anything in the outfield is probably going to score as that one's fouled back by Beshears. It stays 2-2, so close call does not go the way of the Spartans. Saw a similar one yesterday out in center field when Liana Jones had a catch off the wall. Was a great catch. Was close when on the live look to see maybe if she trapped it against the wall off replay. Jones clearly was able to make the grab. Maynard the 2-2 swung on and popped up over our heads out of play, and the count will stay at 2-2. Good battle here between Maynard and Beshears.
Yeah, again, that pitch count up, especially in the early innings, that's very valuable. Try to wear through the pitcher as quickly as you can, try to get to this Penn State bullpen.
Maynard trying to strand a Spartan runner as Fox stands on second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the first. Maynard, the 2-2, lined right back up. It'll get through for a base hit. Fox rounds third. She'll head home. Jones loses the ball for a second, able to get it in. It will be an RBI single for Britton Beshears. And just like yesterday, the Spartans strike first. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, they're responding, coming out of the gates quickly. And we talked about it, getting that stolen base with 2 outs, puts the runner in scoring position, and it paid off there. It was just a hard hit ball up the middle, and really nothing you could do there defensively, as that run was most likely going to score, no matter how it was played.
Now Janae Wash will step in as Britton Beshears able to get on. Wash batting .203 on the year, with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. First pitch from Maynard, that one misses on the outside corner, and the count's 1-0. And Clarissa Crowell is in a conversation with Gil Zayas from the dugout there. Thought that there'd be a couple of them on that outside corner. They just haven't been able to get the call today.
Yeah, she said the words, I hope that goes both ways, meaning hope it's consistent, that call not being called for Penn State.
That one popped up out to right. Brunson settles under it and makes the catch to retire the side. Not before the Spartans score 1 run on 1 hit, 1 left on the base pass. Michigan State leads 1-0. We head to the bottom of the first on Big Ten Plus. Roberts against Penn State earlier on Friday went 2 innings. He had 2 hits, 1 walk, a double, hit a batter, 1 strikeout, no runs. First pitch swinging. Gordon pops it up out into center. Alexis Ross settles under it and makes the catch. So first pitch swing was Maddie Gordon, but a pop up out to center field, and there's 1 down off 1 pitch.
Yeah, aggressive first pitch from the leadoff hitter swinging, which is interesting. But as you mentioned about Ashlyn Roberts, came in on Friday and came in a difficult situation when you're down 10 runs. But she, as you said, came in stopped, stopped the runs for Penn State and was able to close out the game. And she herself had a great outing in the pitcher circle.
Caitlin Morrison steps up. Morrison batting .349 in the year. First pitch, she's swinging, and that one fouled back off the net. The count's 0-1, my pardon. Interesting, we can talk about it later as well. Both pitchers wearing the same number today, both coming in at 0-0, which Chris isn't a big fan of 0-0, but
I like the single digit 0. I'm just a fan. Because you're not going to see a 0 then a 5 for the number 5, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. That pitch fouled off right back into the dugout. Hope all the Nittany Lions are okay. Looks like they are. And the count will move 0-2 as you look at Caitlin Morrison, a 1.113 OPS. 349 average, 24 RBIs, and 5 home runs. A very dangerous hitter in the 2 spot for the Nittany Lions. A lot of power in her bat as well as a lot of speed.
You mentioned dangerous bat. That's why the Penn State dugout has to be more careful down there.
The 0-2, that one high and inside, and the count moves 1-2 to Morrison. You take a look at Ashlyn Roberts there. Not her first time in the circle here in Happy Valley this weekend. Was very good when she came in relief on Friday in the 10-0 loss. They'll look to keep that going here, the 1-2. That one skips in the dirt, and the count's 2-2.
Kayla Morrison, that pitch, more of a clear ball, but she had a very disciplined, the season so far, more patient at the plate, drawing more walks and making the pitchers come to her more, and that's allowed her to have more power and have, honestly, her best season yet.
Walked her way onto the base pass 15 times this season. 2-2, that one hit her right in the shoulder, and Morrison's going to make her way over to first on the hit by pitch. Penn State's got a base runner against the Michigan State defense that looks like this. Ashlyn Roberts, as we said, is in the circle. Hannah Holly will be behind home plate for the Spartans. Britton Beshears over at first, Colette Allen at second, Anna Fox at short, and Mick Anthony at third. Janae Wash will be out in left, Alexis Ross in center, and Sydney Dolazecki will be out in right for the Spartans as Gabby Garcia comes up. Garcia batting .344 in the year. First pitch in there for a strike by Roberts, and the count's 0-1.
Yeah, Gabby Garcia had that 2-run home run, which tied the game in the first yesterday, trying to have more first-inning heroics here to get a lead or maybe tie it.
It was a 2-run shot in the first for Garcia. She's been good this series. 2 for 5, 2 runs, 4 RBIs, and that home run. There goes Morrison. She's stealing that one, thrown over to the second baseman, Colette Allen. So a stolen base here for the Nittany Lions. Count is 0-2, though, as that one fell in for a strike.
Yeah, important to now have a runner in scoring position with only 1 out and one of your best hitters at the plate. And Kayla Morrison, we just saw the speed there. She could definitely score home on a ball hit to the outfield.
That one in there, called strike 3, and a 3-pitch strikeout. Big one there for Ashlyn Roberts. Sits Garcia down, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, we see Coach Crowell saying she wants to go both ways. That's what she was saying in the top of the first. Umpires tend to have different preferences. Some call the outside pitch more than others. It's really about being consistent to appease both sides.
Now Haley Brunson steps in, the 4-hitter for the Nittany Lions. First time she's playing defense this series. Has been the designated player. First pitch outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Brunson 0 for 3 on the series with 2 runs, an RBI, and 2 walks. Did have the sac fly yesterday. Look at it, batting .282 on the year, 31 RBIs, and a great RBI opportunity here with Caitlin Morrison standing on second. The 1-0 swung on and grounded over to Allen, able to make the pitch over to Beshears in time, and Michigan State will take a 1-0 lead to the top of the second, looking to pull off the upset here at Beard Field. Don't go anywhere on Big Ten Plus. Maynard, first pitch to Allen. That one swung and popped up out to right. Going back to the wall. This one is off the wall and will bounce. Brunson will take it off the wall. Rounding first, heading for second is Colette Allen. And a leadoff double for the Spartans. As the bats are alive for Michigan State as they have a runner in scoring position with nobody down in the top of the second.
Yeah, more first pitch swinging from Michigan State, and that one put the barrel on the ball, and that one traveled pretty far to right field. As I said, hit off the wall, and Haley Brunson had a good job of getting the ball in early, so keeping it to a double instead of a triple.
Bunt laid down. It's going to be foul. Will be a strike. The count's 0-1 to Kayla Bain, the designated player today. She's 0 for 2 on the season with no RBIs. We saw her as a pinch runner in this series, but first time we're seeing her at the plate.
Yeah, so using her as a pinch runner, has speed in here, showing bunt, trying to get the runner to third.
Showing bunt again, laying it down. That one popped up, and diving was Paletti. Unable to make it, and the throw, no throw down by Maynard. So Paletti tried to catch it out of the air, and now runners on the corners with nobody out. Perfectly executed bunt there by Bain.
Yeah, it was a great bunt. Paletti almost made the diving play, and I actually like that decision because if she catches it, that's most likely going to be a double play, but unable to do so, and the runner would be at third either way, most likely. Now there's no outs instead of one, but it was aggressive play, didn't pan out that time.
McAnthony now steps in, tries showdown bunt, and going and walking in safely with a stolen base will be Kayla Bain. As she kind of just walks her way to second, was daring Garcia to throw it down. Now 2 in scoring position with nobody down.
We saw McAnthony bunt yesterday with the runner in third, and she's showing the same so far in the first pitch.
The 1-0, that one in there for a strike, and the count's 1-1 now to McAnthony. Maynard going to have to try to work her way out of this situation. Michigan State leading 1-0 and threatening to add on here in the top of the second. The 1-1, that one outside, and the count's 2-1.
As you mentioned, Adams, towards the bottom of the lineup, McAnthony is the 8 hitter, had the 9 hitter on deck, and then it goes to the top of the lineup. So you want to be more aggressive with this part of the lineup because you don't want to have Hannah Hawley, for example, up with more people on base.
2-1, swung on and grounded over. Now get through for a base hit. Coming into scores, Colette Allen. Rounding third and heading home is Bain. She'll go in safely, and it's a 2 RBI single for McAnthony, and the Spartans open up their largest lead of the series as they lead 3-0.
Yeah, hit that hard chopper through the middle. Nothing can really do. Just hit it hard, and then we're at 2 center field. Deanna Jones not going to be able to throw anyone at home, but it's a good throw home. Jenna Paletti cut it off because she realized she did not want the runner to advance to second on the throw. So heads-up decision there, but Michigan State more aggressive hitting, and now they have a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, pitching change here for the Nittany Lions. Coach Crowell is going to make a call to the bullpen here in the top of the second. Don't go anywhere on Big Ten Plus. He'll be going up against the bottom of the order. Ross shows bunt, pulls it back, and the count will go 1-0. They're trying to go a sack bunt here to advance Anthony to scoring position. So nobody out in this top of the second, and Michigan State leading 3-0 over the Nittany Lions, looking to get their first win of the series. Bunt laid down, it'll go foul, and the count moves 1-1.
Yeah, you mentioned it is a sack bunt situation, but with Alexis Ross's speed, he could definitely beat out one of these bunts. So want to be really careful for the Penn State defense, at least getting 1 out here to not allow a runner in scoring position with 0 outs.
Corner of the infield in here for the Nittany Lions, and in case Ross tries to lay down the bunt again. There she goes, and lay it down perfectly, and it's going to now roll foul. So good play there by Garcia and Maddox to let it roll. And now it counts 1-2, and probably take the bunt out of Ross's play.
Yeah, that one had some spin on it. Gabby Garcia saw it and let that ball travel foul. Smart decision there, because if that ball stayed fair, who knows if Alexis Ross would have beaten that out.
Yeah, Ross has a lot of speed, but now 1-2 count, probably going to have to swing away. Maybe try to do a slap hit here. With McAnthony over on first, infield kind of backs up a little bit. The 1-2 from Volpe, that one high for a ball, and the count's 2-2. So Volpe had to fight for a lot of outs yesterday, a lot of counts, and the Spartans are doing a great job staying alive. As you look at Ross's numbers, a .244 average with 5 RBIs on the season.
And she really made her presence felt defensively yesterday in that game, had that double play and also that leaping backwards catch.
That one low and inside, and the count now works full, so Ross has been able to fight her way back, and Volpe is still looking to get the first out of the second inning as Michigan State's off to a great start here at Beard Field.
Yeah, trying to limit the amount of base runners with Hannah Hawley on deck, and you want to be more aggressive in the spot.
The payoff pitch slapped over to Paletti will go foul, and they'll do the 3-2 again.
Talked about Michigan State being more aggressive, especially his first pitch at bats, but now here they are, full count, fouling pitches off, and really Madiville comes in second in her pitching, and they're already making her work for it.
Volpe, the payoff pitch, slapped over, going back. Morrison will get over her glove, and it will be a base hit. Sliding in safely is McAnthony. Infield was in just a little bit, and that one creaked right over Caitlin Morrison's head. And now 2 on with nobody out, and the Spartans got the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, that one just out of reach of Caitlin Morrison's glove and slapped it right over. And Morrison almost made the catch. McAnthony had to pause up at first because if Morrison made that catch, could have potentially turned two. But as I said, went just over her glove now. Hannah Hawley up with 2 people on.
First pitch misses for a ball for Volpe as Hannah Hawley comes up. She flew out to Liana Jones out in center field, was allowed out for her first time up. And with a big RBI opportunity, she's got 20 of them on the year, a lot for a leadoff hitter. The 1-0, that one high and inside, and the count's 2-0. Be time called here by Gabby Garcia. She's going to go out and talk to her pitchers. We look at Hannah Hawley's numbers. A .347 average, 20 RBIs, and 10 home runs. A lot of power in the catcher's bat, and makes her very, very dangerous as a leadoff hitter. And now with 2 on and nobody out, a lot she can do. Can basically put it anywhere on the field.
Yeah, I like the decision to come out and talk to your pitcher. If you're Gabby Garcia, settle things down. You're behind in the count. You're going to have to be pitched to the batter more, and you don't necessarily want to give her something to hit because we talked about Hannah Hawley's abilities.
The 2-0, that one in there for a strike. So talk by Garcia and Volpe works out there as they're able to find the inside corner, and the count's 2-1. Volpe, the 2-1 delivery, that one in there for a strike again, and back-to-back strikes for Volpe really settles in after that chat with Garcia.
Yeah, the talk seemed to work, and now count is even in a lot better situation, and you don't want to get behind again. Just keep the approach you've been having and attack the hitter.
Volpe the 2-2. That one swung on and fouled off. Good job by Hawley to stay alive there, fouling it down the third base side. As you see Maddock going to go on and get it. Gordon's going to take it from her. And the count stays at 2-2.
We talked about Maddie Volpe having to work as these Michigan State hitters really just have been a pest on her side, fouling off a lot of pitches, being more patient at the plate with her and getting that pitch count up high.
Volpe the 2-2. That one swung and popped up, foul into the net. And it stays at 2-2. Good battle here between Volpe and Hawley, something we're used to seeing with Volpe in the circle. Saw it a lot yesterday. A lot of speed on the base pass here for the Spartans. Mick Anthony over on second has a lot of speed, as well as Alexis Ross, who's 15 for 16 on stolen bases. Obviously can't really steal here with a runner on second, but anything in the outfield could really advance as that one's high and away, and the count works full.
Yeah, still no outs, too, so in a dangerous spot here. Definitely don't want to load the bases, especially with 0 outs.
Infield double play depth for the Nittany Lions. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Michigan State leading 3-0 here at Beal Field. The payoff pitch, that one misses just on the outside corner. And it will be a walk. And Clarissa Crowell, we mentioned she's been upset with the calls today and still pleading her case. As that outside corner, it's been consistent so far for Gil Zayas. He just hasn't been given that call.
Yeah, more of a batter's strike zone today. Not calling the outside pitch a strike a lot. So now Michigan State finds himself in a very favorable position with bases loaded, nobody out.
And time going to be called as some instructions chanted out here by Gabby Garcia. With Anna Fox stepping in. Fox was walked her first time up and came in to score. That one misses for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Looks like she's trying to maybe get a slap hit here. Bring someone home, and the Spartans add on to their 3-0 lead. Most they've led by all series. 1-0, that one in there for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. So Michigan State get up to a 2-0 lead in the top of the first yesterday.
See the Penn State defense, everyone playing in, most likely going home if they get a ball hit to them.
That one in there for a strike, and the count's 1-2.
You feel like, too, especially down 3 runs, you don't want to limit their lead as much as possible, be more aggressive by going home rather than trying to turn 2.
Volpe looking to get the first out here, the second, and time called. Volpe was talking out loud there to Gabby Garcia as they were trying to get the pitch in. Now here's the 1-2 delivery. That one slapped in. Will it stay fair? It will not. Goes foul. Maddock unable to chase it down. We'll stay 1-2, and the Spartans doing exactly what they did yesterday, just staying alive in these at-bats, and Anna Fox, a perfect example here.
Yeah, Maddie Volpe You know, the pitch count isn't as huge of a deal in softball, but in terms of one inning, just a lot of fatigue on the arm just tires you out and makes you lose some control as the inning goes on.
Threw a lot of pitches yesterday. The 1-2 that went outside was trying to get Fox to chase. Good eye there, and it moves to 2-2. Fox, as we mentioned, walked in the first, did come around to score in that first inning. That slap hit right to Morrison will make the catch for one. The throw to third in time. It's a double play. Amazing job there. Caitlin Morrison with the great catch and heads-up play, throws it over to Maddock in time. And now there's 2 down and 2 on for the Spartans, and Penn State looking to try to get out of this with only giving up the 2 runs.
Yes, an absolute great catch by Caitlin Morrison, but especially the heads-up decision. She could have stepped on second, but knew that there was the runner at third, wanting to get the lead runner out, and she did that. And now Maddie Volpe gets a double play, and there's only 2 people on, and no run scored there. First
pitch swinging is Dolazecki. That one going to get out in the right center. Will it drop? Yes, it will. Coming in to score is Alexis Ross. And Beshears will get some runners on the corners. An RBI single for Sydney Dolazecki. Only took her 1 pitch. We're still trying to recap the double play, but Michigan State adds another, and it's 4-0 Spartans.
Yeah, that ball was just blooped out into that triangle between the center fielder, second baseman, and right fielder. None of them could get to it. Just hit perfectly between them all. And Kayla Morrison running back, Lena Jones dove for it, but it was Haley Brentz that came in, fielded, and nothing you could do for the Penn State defense, but it's great hitting by Sydney Dolazecki.
Took the words right out of my mouth there, Chris. A perfectly placed ball. No play for Leanna Jones or Haley Brunson or Caitlin Morris, who was trying to go back. His time's going to be called again here, and Sharonda McDonald-Kelly kind of giving some instructions there over on the third base side as Bashir steps back in. First pitch swinging and pops this one up. This one should stay in play. Is going over and unable to make the catch is Gianna Paletti. Was in her glove. I think tried to squeeze it too early there, and Beshears catches a break on that foul ball.
Yeah, gonna stay alive after that little mistake there, as you said. Just close the glove too early, hit off the outside of the glove, and just bounced over into the dugout, actually.
And you saw her kind of reach out with the non-glove hand to try to keep it in play. Unable to do so. The 0-1 in there for a strike, so even though the drop, ball out in foul territory, quickly ahead 0-2 is Maddie Volpe. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 0-2, that one high. They got move 1 and 2 as they're trying to get Beshears to chase on that riser there from Volpe.
You have to be aggressive here. And Bryn Beshears, you don't want to give her anything to hit, but you've seen Maddie Volpe get ahead in these counts and fall behind late, so keep the approach.
The 1-2 foul back into the net. Runners on the corners here with 2 outs. Count stays at 1-2 to Britton Beshears. Beshears already has an RBI today, had an RBI base hit in the first that scored Anna Fox. Another RBI opportunity here as Hannah Holly stands on third. Beshears looking to add on to a 4-0 Spartan lead. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and Volpe gets her first strikeout of the day, and Penn State will head to the bottom of the second, trailing by 4 here on Big Ten Plus. Penn State looking to get on the board. Leanna Jones to lead off, adding 3:30 on the season. First pitch she sees is in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Penn State, they won the first 2 in this series, but Michigan State threatening to try to steal one here on Sunday and get their second conference win of the year.
Yeah, Michigan State came out early with 1 run in the first, now 3 runs in the second inning. So different game so far. Penn State's going to have to battle back.
The 0-1, that one outside for a ball, and the count's 1-1.
Different approach now for Penn State. They're going to have to be, focus on getting runners on base now that you're down in this hole by 4, which is a situation they have not been in all series.
Penn State, they have power in their bats, so obviously very dangerous no matter what situation they're in. That one breaks in low for a ball, and the count's 2-1. Penn State doing something they really haven't had to do, playing from behind. They trailed 2-0 yesterday, but immediately answered with a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first to tie things up, so uncharted waters this weekend for the Nittany Lions. The 2-1 popped up in foul territory. Going back and unable to make a diving catch was Britton Beshears. An unbelievable effort over there in foul territory as you see her dust her way off. Very dirty jersey now for Beshears. And the count moves to 2-2.
Yeah, that was an incredible attempt. Would have been an unbelievable catch, but put herself in a great position to catch it. Just popped out of the glove at the last second. Now, Brianna Jones gets another life.
Jones with 2 balls and 2 strikes, looking to get Penn State a base runner here in the bottom of the second, trailing by 4. The 2-2 swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Ashlyn Roberts. Still off to a hot start for the Spartans. They're looking for their first win of the series, and taking a look at Clarissa Crowell with that win yesterday, her 100th win with the Nittany Lions. It's 3 straight 30-plus win seasons for Penn State. Clarissa Crowell has built this program in a great way, and in her 4th season has been reaping the benefits as the Nittany Lions sit in 2nd place in the Big Ten right now.
Yeah, this program has been built up each year under her control and getting better every season, and yesterday kind of really solidified that with that milestone of 100 wins, so congratulations to her.
Emily Maddox stepping in now, batting .317 on the year. Not a lot of power for her, but a great contact hitter, a lot of speed. 9 RBIs for her. Only 5 doubles and 4 triples. A 1-0, this will be grounded. Will bounce over the first baseman, Beshears, for a base hit, and Maddox able to get on, and Penn State's got a base runner here in the bottom of the second. Took a great bounce just right over Beshears' head.
Yeah, needed to get a hit today, break it open, and Ashlyn Roberts has had a lot of success against Penn State first on Friday, as we talked about, as she, held Penn State scoreless in her first outing, and then so far today was looking pretty solid. Emily Maddox, though, great contact hitter and got a good bounce there.
Giselle Hernandez steps in, batting .222 on the year. Hernandez 2 for 5 with a run scored this weekend. First pitch swing and a miss, and the count's 0-1. Chris, we talked to Coach Crowell earlier this week, and she said how important it is for the the bottom of the order, the depth in the batting order to be able to produce. Well, bottom of the order here up in a big spot as Penn State's trying to cut into this 4-run deficit.
Yeah, in softball you have 9 batters, and you need contributions from the whole lineup throughout. It's more, especially softball, you need that depth, and that's what Penn State has had this year, which has led to their offense, being so explosive.
Mentioned Hernandez, a .222 average, is 4 RBIs on the year. Trying to maybe advance Maddox here into scoring position as she stands over on first with 1 out. Hernandez shows the bat, pulls back, pops it up out in a shallow center field. Going back and making the catch is Colette Allen. Maddox runs back to first, and there's 2 down now in the bottom of the second. Another scoreless inning would be huge for Ashlyn Roberts and these Spartans.
Yeah, yesterday Michigan State cannot hold on to the lead for long. Ashlyn Roberts has the ability to go through this inning and keep that 4-run lead, and I feel like after a team scores, you're going to see the best effort from the opponent, trying to do everything they can, but now Brooke Clausewitz is going to try to help the Penn State effort. And so yesterday in the 4th inning, she had that 2 RBI single, trying to do some more of that today.
First pitch, Clausewitz sees will be high for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Clausewitz batting .241 on the year, but talk about swinging a hot bat. She's perfect, batting 1,000 this weekend, 2 for 2, with 2 RBIs and a double. We're going to keep it going. The designated player getting the nod from Coach Crowell and hitting Coach Adriana Baguetta. The 1-0, that one in there for a strike, and the count's 1-1. It's Clausewitz, the freshman, coming up in a big spot here, maybe trying to spark a 2-out rally for the Nittany Lions in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, especially when you don't come in starting, but she proved in her limited chances she was aggressive, hit that double on Friday, had that single yesterday. So getting the opportunities and want to take advantage when you can.
The 1-1, that one outside, and the count's 2-1. Maddox trying to get a jump, just been unable, hasn't really taken off. Only 2 for 3 on stolen bases this year, but a lot of speed over there, and with 2 outs, we'll see maybe if Penn State gets aggressive with a 2-1 count, try to advance someone in scoring position. The 2-1, that one in there on the outside corner for a strike, and now the count's 2-2.
Yeah, you talk about potentially stealing here. Maddox, not a huge stolen base threat, even though she does have speed. But if you're Penn State, you need base runners to try to chip back into this one. That's why you might be a little bit more conservative on the base paths, because you're down by a few runs. 2
balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 swung and popped up out to right. That will drop for a base hit. Maddox rounds second. She's heading to third. The throw in plenty of time, and Anthony will get the tag. What a throw by Sydney Dolazecki over to Mick Anthony, and Penn State, as Maddox was trying to advance to third. Michigan State gets out of the inning. We'll head to the top of the third here on Big Ten Plus. Spartans lead by 4. for the Spartans. Wash 0 for 1 today. First pitch by Volpe, popped up out to center. Leanna Jones eyeing it up, settling under it, and making the catch. One pitch, one out here for Maddie Volpe in the top of the third. A scoreless inning and a 1-2-3 inning would be huge for Volpe and these Nittany Lions as they're trying to get back into this one.
No one just has to feel good if you're Maddie Volpe. The Michigan State finally swinging first pitch for an out. Had not seen a lot of that against her, but one pitch, one out so far this inning, trying to limit the damage so far.
Colette Allen comes up. She got off to a great start to her day. A leadoff double in the second that helped spark a 3-run second for the Spartans as they lead 4-0. Doubled and came in to score the first run of that second inning for the Spartans. Banked .216 on the year. The 1-0 outside, and the count's 2-0. Allen was the designated player on Friday, played second yesterday and playing second again today. The 2-0, that one in there for a strike, and the count's 2-1. Where Penn State's been trying to get the pitches, they haven't been able to get the call. Volpe able to get one there, and the count moves to 2-1.
Yeah, that one, not really up for debate because that one definitely caught a piece of the zone, but if that was not called a strike, would have definitely heard some remarks from the dugout.
Volpe the 2-1, swing and a miss by Allen. Big cut at it, and the count moves 2-2. Volpe working quickly, looking to get the second out of this third inning. Trying to keep the Spartans at bay. Michigan State only one win in conference play, but off to a great start here, looking to upset the number 2 team in the Big Ten. Volpe the 2-2, that one high for a ball, and the count works full. As I mentioned, Volpe, she's had to work for these outs. These Spartan batters have not went down easy for her.
Yeah, a lot of foul pitches and great eyes at the plate. And after the first batter of the inning swings first pitch, the next batter generally not going to swing in the first pitch and try to have a longer at bat.
A payoff pitch, that one outside. Off speed kind of broke on her a little high. It'll be a walk and another base runner. Colette Allen's reached both times today with Kayla Bain coming up. Bain was able to reach. She tried to lay down a sac bunt, and then Gianna Paletti dived for the ball, trying to catch it in the air, maybe trying to turn 2. Was unable to make the catch. Allowed the Spartans to get runners on the corners, so she reached on an error on the sac bunt. First pitch in there for a strike. Now it's 0-1. We'll see if maybe she lays down a bunt here with one out. Can't imagine she would, but you never know. The 0-1, that one outside for a ball, and the count's 1-1.
Yeah, if you're Michigan State, as you mentioned, Adam, only one win in conference play, so kind of in that desperate situation, having nothing to lose, and you're just going to try to add a run whenever you can. That's why, not likely to bump, but you still can try to add a run whenever possible.
Well, one swing and a miss, and bunt completely out of the picture now as the count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 swing and a miss, and Volpe able to get the second out of the inning with her second strikeout. Great pitch there, able to get Bain to chase, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, it was a big strikeout, trying to move quickly through this inning. And the first 2 innings so far for Penn State, unable to have a scoreless inning, trying to get their first one so far here in the third.
Nick Anthony had a 2 RBI double her first time up. First pitch swing and a miss. Correction, 2 RBI single, my pardon. Down 0-1 here as Anthony had an eventful series. Came into this game looking at her numbers on the series. She was 0 for 3, but had that weird 5-2-8 double play yesterday as that pitch missed for a ball, and the count's 1-1.
Yeah, that was probably the play of the series that we're going to remember of how interesting it was, the great defensive plays multiple people on the Penn State side made.
Volpe's 1-1. That one skips in the dirt. Garcia blocks it. That'll hold Allen over at first. She doesn't try to advance. And the count stays at 2-1 for Mick Anthony. As we mentioned, 1 for 1 today. Had that 2 RBI base hit in the second inning. Helped Michigan State have this 4-run lead to work with against the Nittany Lions. The 2-1. One in there for a strike, and the count moves 2-2. Twos are wild up on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the third. Penn State trails by 4. Allen over on first. Is Volpe looking to get out of this third inning unscathed? Makes a peek at the wristband. The 2-2 swing and a miss, and Volpe gets her 3rd strikeout of the game, 2nd of the inning, and Penn State will move to the bottom of the 3rd, down 4 here on Big Ten Plus.
they're second in the Big Ten. They're right up there, right behind Northwestern. They have a better overall record, just trailing in the divisional record, which puts them second in the conference. But definitely don't want to let this game get too far away from them.
Gianna Paletti, first time up today. First pitch misses inside for a ball, and the count to 1-0. Chris, we were talking before the broadcast today, you know, it's kind of hard when you've won the series, which Penn State has done already. Kind of trying to come back with that same hunger. The one thing they have looking forward to is they are in the 2 spots. They're still chasing Northwestern at the top of the Big Ten standings, trying to get back. That pitch swung on and grounded over to the second baseman. The throw by Allen to Beshears in time. And there's one down, and Ashlyn Roberts continues to pay dividends in the circle for the Spartans. She was great on Friday, great again today.
Yeah, Penn State really just has not figured her out yet. We saw a lot of times we see a pitcher again try to figure some things out. We saw that with Bridget Namath yesterday, dominant pitcher, and Friday absolutely dominant. And Michigan State had more success against her yesterday the first time through, maybe seeing the pitcher again, but been the case today for Ashlyn Roberts and Penn State.
First pitch to Gordon, misses for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Gordon 0 for 1 today, flew out to center field on the first pitch she saw. Very dangerous hitter for the Nittany Lions, batting .352 on the year, 43 hits, 29 RBIs, 15 doubles, 1 triple, and 8 home runs for her. Help get Penn State started here. Second time around the order for the Nittany Lions, the 1-0. That one, check swing. I think they're going to say it went off the bottom of the bat, and the count moved 1-1.
Yeah, that one up and in. Must have hit the bat, as you said, Adam, and now 1-1. And yeah, honestly, I guess it must have hit the bottom of the bat because it kind of looked like a hitter. Maybe hit off at the inside part of the bat, like near the hands.
Infield playing back here, standard depth. No shift, nobody coming in on Gordon. 1 ball, 1 strike, the 1-1. That one breaks in for a strike, and the count's 1-2. And off speed's been really, really good for Ashlyn Roberts.
Yeah, Penn State just looking to break out there. And now this is the part of the lineup that would most likely get something started. Maddie Gordon, one of the best hitters on the team. Get the top of the lineup due with only 1 out, trying to get some momentum, looking for a base runner anyway.
The 1-2 swung on and popped up into shallow right field. Going back, calling off Allen was Dolazecki, and able to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down for Ashlyn Roberts. And now here comes Caitlin Morrison. And Michigan State looking to continue to hold this 4-0 lead. Their defense has been outstanding today.
Yeah, their defense today has been really, really solid, as we talked about. Yesterday we saw a few great plays that was made, especially by Alexis Ross in center, but their good communication between the outfielder and the infielder, making sure only one person's going in for it to make the play.
Morrison reached her first time up, was hit by a pitch. Stepping in, first pitch swinging and pops it up out to right. Dolazecki charges on it, dives and makes the catch on the slide. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the Spartans, and they head to the 4th, leading by 4 here on Big Ten Plus. Volpe's first pitch to Ross. Looks like she was going to show bunt. Pulled back that one high for a ball, and the count's 1-0.
Yeah, Penn State, their last time out there defensively, had their first scoreless inning against Michigan State. So found some success in the 3rd, looking for more of the same with Maddie Volpe in the circle.
Volpe's 1-0 delivery. Bunt showed down, lays it down. It'll be foul by Ross. And the count moves to 1-1. Infield's in ready for the bunt, but Ross, obviously a lot of speed. She had on the base pass, almost mark her up for a stolen base. She's 15 for 16 on the year.
Yeah, maybe now might try to slap it over the infield, but now the infield's alert and more in than they were before.
The 1-1 swung on and popped up out into shallow left. Going back and making the catch is Maddie Gordon. Was way in early. Had to run back into about standard outfield depth, and now there's 1 down. Good piece of hitting, though, there by Ross. Good contact, just Gordon able to make the play.
Yeah, Penn State defense was set up, though, for that situation. They knew it was going to be a bunt or a slap hit. Alpha was a good depth, and as you said, almost went over Maddie Gordon's head, but she was able to run back there and make the nice catch.
Now here comes Hannah Holly, 0 for 1 today. Flew out to center in her first time up, and then walked her second time. Got all the way to 3rd and was left stranded over there. First pitch missed for a ball, and the count's 1-0. For Volpe, as you see, spinning the ball around in her glove, as she's been doing a lot this weekend. The 1-0, that one high and away, and it's 2-0. Holly 0 for 1 with that fly out. Did reach on a walker last time up in the 2nd. Michigan State looking to add some more here to their 4-0 lead. The 2-0, that one outside for a ball, and it's 3-0, so 3 straight balls to start this at-bat for Volpe.
Yes, unable to, put together consistent, at-bats or consistent pitches where you're having success, where you get the out against Alexis Ross and now behind 3-0 against one of the most, dangerous hitters on Michigan State.
Holly taking the entire way. That one in there for a strike. She threw the bat, thought that one was low and inside and should have been a ball, but the count moves 3-1, and Holly has to pick it back up and step back in.
Yeah, it was, on the border there of low and in, but thought that was a ball. Going to have to step back in the box, and Maddie Volpe has the chance here to try to put her away the batter.
Volpe the 3-1. That one not in there for a strike, and it'll be a walk. Very similar pitch. That time Holly gets the call, and she'll make her way down to first. Second time she's reached via the walk today.
Yeah, if that one was called a strike, would have had to do the same thing of picking up the bat, but that time I guess someone just missed a little bit more, and Maddie Volpe's going to have to find herself with, their leadoff hitter now on first, but with one out now.
Now Anna Fox steps in. She's 0 for 1 today. Shows bunt. We'll pull it back for a ball, and the count's 1-0. She reached via walk and came around to score in the first. She did line into a double play in the second. Infield in here with Maddock coming in. Likes to slap it. Here's Fox. Kind of runs up. That one's in there for a strike, though, and the count's 1-1. See, about every time she's been up, she's kind of ran up in the box trying to get that slap hit.
Yeah, get more power and get a little running start, get more speed heading down to first base. And last time, put a good barrel on it, just hit it right to Kaylin Morrison.
1-1 grounded right back to Volpe. Volpe's throw to first will be in time. Holly does advance to second, so not a worthless out there for Fox. 2 down, and Michigan State will have a runner in scoring position with Sydney Dolazecki, who's had an RBI single her last time up in the second inning.
Yeah, Dolazecki's really had her best game so far today. You mentioned that RBI single, but also in the field. We saw her make that sliding catch. We saw her with that great throw to third, so making her mark on today's game.
First pitch she sees going to be popped up foul. This one will be out of play into the stands. And it's like all the fans are going to be okay over there. You see sitting back down. And have to return that one to the dugout as she's a little confused. And now it looks like she's going to pass it over, and they're going to get that one back into the dugout for the Nittany Lions. 0-1 count here as Volpe settles back on the rubber. The 0-1 popped up foul. A bounce off the building and bounce back into the stands. And a barehanded catch by a fan out in the stands. As we said, a great crowd. And you see the fan there with the blue Penn State hat able to make a barehanded grab. Going to have to return that ball to the dugout as well. And no one's really listening to me out there as I say they have to return it.
It's going to be a lot harder to return the ball today, as you're going to have to toss it rather than walk it over yourself with too many people in the stands.
The 0-2 chopped foul. So 3 straight foul balls for Sydney Dolazecki. The count stays 0-2. And Maddie Gordon knew that foul ball. She knew to return it back to the pitcher there. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 4th here. Michigan State leading 4-0. Hannah Holly standing on second, and Sydney Dolazecki looking for her second RBI of the day and helping Michigan State add on. The 0-2, that one skips in the dirt, and the count's 1-2, maybe trying to get her to chase there after the 3 straight foul balls.
Yeah, with the 0-2 count, you can afford to waste a pitch. If the batter swings, it's not going to be a good pitch to hit. No, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive since it's 1-2. Don't want to waste too many pitches here.
Volpe looking at Coach Crowell sitting in the dugout. Gets the call, the 1-2. That one swung and popped up out to right. Brunson goes over and makes the catch, reaching up to retire the side. Penn State keeps the Spartans off the scoreboard in the top of the 4th. Michigan State leads 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th on Big Ten Plus. Bottom of the 4th, Michigan State leading 4-0. Thank you for joining us here on Big Ten Plus as the Spartans looking to steal the final game of this series. Penn State won the first 2 on Friday 10-0, and yesterday in Game 2 winning 6-3 to win the series. We're looking for the sweep, but the Spartans looking to steal Game 3. It's Gabby Garcia stepping in against Ashlyn Roberts, and first pitch misses a ball, and the count's 1-0. Garcia 0 for 1 today, struck out looking in the first inning.
Real quick about the down and race, Adam. I think it's one of my favorite things to see at a Penn State live game.
A 1-0 swung on and popped up out into shallow center. Alexis Ross comes on and makes the catch, and there's one down. Penn State making contact, but it's kind of been the issue so far. Just kind of getting under it a little too much, not carrying it out to the outfield like they've been earlier this series.
Yeah, unable to find that power, unable to really get any momentum going. They're only, they had the Emily Maddox single to right field. They had the Brooke Clausewitz single to right field that ended in the Maddox getting thrown out at third, so unable to get any real momentum.
First pitch to Brunson, swung and fouled back into the net. She's 0 for 1 today, grounded out to Colette Allen back in the first inning. Penn State just looking to get something going here as the offense has been quiet. Credit to the Spartans' defense, though. They've been able to hold these Nittany Lions at bay on a Sunday here in State College. The 0-1, that one in there for a strike, and Roberts again working ahead. It's 0-2.
Yeah, you mentioned the defense behind Ashlyn Roberts has been fantastic as well. She's been great in the pitcher circle, but saw diving plays, great throws, and we've seen all series both sides have made both plays on the ball.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the fourth. The 0-2, that one swung on and grounded. It will get through for a base hit. The throw not in time as Dolazecki tried to throw it to Beshears, but Haley Brunson gets a base hit there for the Nittany Lions. They got a base runner here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, their third hit today, that one was a missile on the ground, but hard hit ball to the right side. And now Leona Jones had a home run on Friday up in a spot here to try to get some more momentum, keep it going for Penn State as we're getting to the second half of this game. This is when you're going to have to start making that comeback if it's going to happen.
A good job there by Brunson to kind of run that out as Dolazecki got it and was immediately thrown home. First pitch to Leona Jones is in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Jones struck out her first time up with Haley Brunson over on first. Brunson 1 for 1 stealing bases this season, known for her ability to swipe bags, so can't imagine she'll be going here. The 0-1 swung on and popped up out to left, going back to the wall. A no-doubter, a home run. Leona Jones, a 2-run shot, and with 1 swing of the bat, the Nittany Lions have cut this deficit in half. It's 4-2.
We talked about Penn State needing to get that hit that's going to start this offense. That will do it for Leona Jones, now cutting this lead in half to just 2 runs. And that ball is used at a no-doubter on the barrel, drove it out to left center field, and now Penn State's offense went from having not a lot going to now it looks like it is starting to form.
And the one thing they've done no matter what is they brought the crowd back into it. As you see this pitch, Leona Jones, perfect contact, driving it out to left center field, and goes over the Illinois flag out in left center, and it's a home run, and the Nittany Lions have cut the deficit in half. It's 4-2. We are going to see a visit into the circle. Are we going to see a pitching change for the Spartans after that 2-run home run? Sharonda McDonald-Kelly out there to discuss, and looks like we're going to have a change in the circle for the Spartans. A 2-run home run gets the Nittany Lions back into it. We'll have everything on the new pitcher when we come back here on Big Ten Plus.
Yeah, interesting decision to change the pitcher after Ashlyn Roberts has been, really locked down for the first 3 innings, but at the first sign of weakness, making that pitching change. And Madison Taylor, we talked about it yesterday, how she's lately been finding her rhythm her last few starts. Penn State got the better of her yesterday, able to put up 5 runs, as you said, but now looking to keep the lead.
First pitch to Maddox, swinging, going to be grounded over to Beshears, and 1 pitch and 1 out for Madison Taylor, and there's 2 down. Maddox was a good hard hit ball, but just right to Beshears over at first. There's 1 down. That's exactly how she got on the first time. It bounced over Beshears' head. That time Beshears was ready for it, and there's 2 down.
Yes, a different bounce there. And Emily Maddox, we talked about great contact, but as a lefty, if she pulls the ball and it's hit to one of the people, no real chance to beat anything out.
Zell Hernandez steps in now. First pitch misses for a ball. Hernandez 0 for 1 today. Popped out to Colette Allen her first time up. Showing the bats, Hernandez pulls it back, the 1-0. That went in there for a strike, and now it's 1-1. Nor the scoreboard, Chris, that says 0-2.
Interesting decision. We see Giselle Hernandez do a lot showing the bat before, and as long as she feels like she brings the bat back in time to a full swing, it works for her.
That one outside, and the count's now 2-1 to Hernandez. Take a look at her there. Good contact, batting .219 on the year, has some power, 2 doubles. Been put in many situations, only 4 RBIs, as you see there. Shows the bat, pulls it back, and that one missed for a ball, and it's 3-1.
Especially now facing a new pitcher, want to make the pitcher find the strike zone. If they're struggling with their control, you want to make them pitch to you and try to just make them throw their stuff early, then go back to the dugout.
The 3-1, that one low for a ball, and Giselle Hernandez doesn't know the count. Now she's going to take her walk over. As we mentioned, the count was wrong on the scoreboard earlier, had 2-2. It was Adriana Baguetta, the third base coach for the Nittany Lions, checked with third base umpire John Schaefer to check the count. It was 3-1 and the ball there, and it's a walk with Brooke Clausewitz coming up, and with 2 outs, Penn State does have a base runner trailing by 2.
Yeah, sometimes I just get a little locked in at the plate, lose count of the amount of balls or strikes in it, but Giselle Hernandez now at first, and Brooke Clausewitz already had a hit today, looking for more of the same. She takes the first pitch for a strike.
Clausewitz is perfect this series. She's 3 for 3, 1 for 1 today with that base hit. Looking to keep it going. She's been swinging a good bat against the Spartans. Freshman got an opportunity, had a double on Friday, had a 2 RBI single on Saturday, has a single today. Fat pitch, swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2.
Yeah, good off-speed pitch there now. Ahead in the count with 2 outs, trying to get out of the inning, limiting the walk to Giselle Hernandez.
Bottom of the 4th here. Penn State has crossed 2 here in the 4th inning to cut the deficit in half. They trail 4-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 0-2. That one, check swing. Did she go around? She did not. That one was low, and the count moves 1-2. Elizabeth Hammerschmidt says that Clausewitz held off.
Yeah, Hannah Hawley wanted that one as the catcher checking down to first. I don't think she held off, seemed like, so seems to have been the right call.
The count moves to 1-2. Clausewitz, like she knocked a bug out of her face there as she steps in. The 1-2 swung on and chopped, and it'll go foul. It chopped right back. And the count's 1-2. Fooled everybody as Hannah Hawley got up to look for the ball, and Clausewitz sprinted down to first. It just took one bounce and bounced behind her.
Yeah, in that situation, maybe it just took a weird bounce and had no idea where it went. So, did the safe thing, ran out because you don't know where the ball's going.
Looks like that ball might have broke a little bit as they're going to throw it into the dugout. A 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Michigan State leading 4-2. Giselle Hernandez standing on first. Brooke Clausewitz looking to keep the inning alive. The 1-2, that one swung. That one's going to be grounded fair. It's going to be a swinging bunt, and Michigan State's going to let it roll. And Clausewitz is going to reach to first. Interesting decision. That one was well in fair territory, but instead of picking it up and throwing it, Taylor and Hawley thought to let it roll, maybe to see if it'd roll foul. That one stayed fair easily. And now 2 on with the 2 outs.
Yeah, in that situation, that was basically a swinging bunt, but that was placed perfectly. And Hannah Hawley didn't really have a play on it because Brooke was hustling down to first. So maybe the only option was to wait it out. But as you said, Adam, that ball was, pretty securely in fairgrounds.
We'll see Penn State's coaching staff kind of meeting a little bit here to discuss maybe a change in the batter. Is Gianna Paletti going to stay out there? Looks like she's going to stay batting.
Yeah, this is the best inning Penn State has had. We had that 2-run home run with Leanna Jones, but now 2 more people on base. And Gianna Paletti as the 9-hitter, most likely going to see a pitch to hit. This is the batter that you're going to want to attack for Michigan State as being the 9-hitter. So, Coach Melissa Crowell just wants to talk to her, get her head right before this at-bat because this is a big situation.
Paletti steps in. Her second time up. First pitch swinging will foul it into the stands. Count moves 0-1. Paletti 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to Colette Allen in the 3rd. See a fan there was able to get the ball. No balls, 1 strike. The 0-1, that one swing and a miss, and quickly Taylor's ahead 0-2 here.
Yeah, I saw Gianna Paletti was really aggressive. That's maybe what they were talking about, is being aggressive in the strikes, or being aggressive at this plate approach, swinging early in the count, seeing the pitch you like, but that one fooled by the off speed.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Michigan State leads 4-2. The 0-2, that one swung and popped up over the press box, and the count stays at 0-2. See Giselle Hernandez standing on second for the Nittany Lions. Going to come around and make this a 1-run game if you're Penn State. Brooke Clausewitz stands on first. The 0-2, that one in the dirt. Good block there by Hawley. Will keep Hernandez at second.
Yeah, Giselle Hernandez got a good jump and was thinking about it, decided to be safe, go back to second base. Definitely don't want to get thrown out here with 2 outs, so smart decision, but good job by Hannah Hawley to stay in front of that one.
Now it's 1-2. Taylor, that's the pitch. The 1-2 delivery, that one going to be fouled off. It looks like it bounced off the mask of Hannah Holly, and it will stay 1-2. Good job there by Paletti to stay alive.
Yeah, saw that one off the inside part of the bat. Gets another pitch, hopefully something that she likes. And yeah, as you said, good approach, keeping herself in this at-bat.
Kind of feel the importance of this at-bat for both teams right now. Paletti looking to drive in a run, cut into this deficit. Michigan State looking to get out of this inning, leading by 2. Taylor the 1-2. That one popped up out into center. Ross going back, settles under it, and makes the catch to retire the side. Not before a 2-run home run from Liana Jones cuts the deficit in half. Michigan State leads 4-2 as we head to the 5th on Big Ten Plus.
2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 2 runners left on base. Heading to the top of the 5th with the score. Michigan State. Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the 5th. Just joining us, Michigan State got off to a 4-0 lead after scoring 4 runs, 1 in the first and 3 in the second. That one fouled back into the net again. Penn State answered with a 2-run home run from Liana Jones in the bottom of the 4th. Make this game 4-2. So Spartans looking to steal the final game of this 3-game series. Penn State won the first 2, 10-0 in 5 innings on Friday and 6-3 yesterday. The 1-2 swung on and popped up, and again, staying alive here is Colette Allen.
And we talked about Adam, Michigan State only 1 win so far in conference play, but it is hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. You know, seeing the same pitcher every day, and it feels like, you know, winning 3 times against the same team, that's pretty tough. So, you know, sweeps a lot more rare.
The 1-2 swung and grounded right to Hernandez. A beautiful play in the throw in time. What a defensive play from Giselle Hernandez. Went right into her glove in the throw in time and celebrating with her teammates there. There's 2 down.
Yeah, that ball was smoked, but Giselle Hernandez played that one hop perfectly, stayed in front of it, watched the runner on third, walk back to the base, that way throw it on to first, keep the runner at third, and now Maddie Volpe has 2 outs and had some breathing room in this situation.
It's Kayla Bain still looking for her first hit of the season. That pitch misses for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Bain 0 for 3 this year, does have 2 runs. She's 0 for 1 today. Did reach via an error on a sac bunt. The 1-0 swung on and popped up out to left, going back to the wall. This one is gone! Kayla Bain, her first hit of the season, and she makes it count. A 2-run home run, and the Spartans lead 6-2.
That ball was drilled out to left field. The people playing volleyball out behind the stadium are going to have to watch out because that ball was absolutely smoked. But now Michigan State adds more insurance runs, up 6-2, fueling that lead.
It was a 2-run home run from Liana Jones to make it a 2-run game. Kayla Bain gets them both back right there. Over the left field wall, over Maddie Gordon's head, and the Spartans take a 6-2 lead, and looks like we're going to have a pitching change here for the Nittany Lions. Bridget Namath is going to enter the circle for Penn State. As Clarissa Crowell with another call to the bullpen, we'll have a change for the Nittany Lions here in the top of the 5th. Spartans lead 6-2 on Big Ten Plus.
In the 5th inning.
And record the final out of the 5th as Penn State trails by 4. The 0-1, that one misses for a ball, and the count's 1-1. Namath was National Freshman of the Week this week. Been getting a lot of media attention for her success. We read you off the numbers earlier. She's been phenomenal for the blue and white. The 1-1, that one swung on and popped up in foul territory. That one going to land near the Michigan State bullpen, and the count's now 1-2.
Yeah, I mentioned she was phenomenal as well on Friday, shutting out Michigan State in that win that Penn State had. She pitched 4 innings in that one, but was still stellar in that outing. Yesterday, Michigan State had more success against her, but she was able to come in and close it out.
Anthony looking to keep this inning alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the 1-2. That one inside and low, and the count's 2-2. Anthony 1 for 2 today. Had a 2 RBI single. Correction, just an RBI single, my pardon, in the second. The 2-2 swung on and fouled back into the net. Staying alive here. The 2-2 count as the Spartans are looking to continue this top of the 5th inning where they've already scored 2 runs.
They gave up that home run to Leanna Jones last inning, responded in a big way, getting their lead back up to 4 runs. You know, trying to keep this lead, you're desperate for a win here if you're Michigan State, and not letting your foot off the gas, just keep the offensive going, adding more relief to your pitching staff. And after that home run by Leanna Jones, Michigan State came out in a strong way.
The 2-2 from Namath. That one grounded right over to Paletti. She'll step on first to retire the side. Not before the Spartans add 2. They lead by 4. We head to the bottom of the 5th here on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
32 RBIs, 6 home runs. That one popped up out into right center. Coming on is Ross. She'll make the catch, the throw, no throw, as Gordon slides back in safely as Garcia flies out to center, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, Maddie Gordon got a big lead off of first and was pretty close to second, but when that ball was caught, sprinted back full speed to first base because we saw Alexis Ross yesterday gun out a runner from center field and see Maddie Gordon on that replay. Alexis Ross caught it and was looking to first, but Maddie Gordon was able to get back in time.
Looks like there's actually going to be what the conversation was is Garcia initially came back out of the dugout, but now going to head back in. Gordon going to standing over on first as she headed into the dugout for a second. And now with 2 outs, Haley Brunson steps up, 1 for 2 today. Had a base hit back in the 4th inning, did Haley Brunson. That got Penn State started and led to the 2-run home run for Leanna Jones, who stands in the on-deck circle for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, Leanna Jones already has 2 home runs this series, so don't want to put her up a bet with people on base.
1-0 inside, and it's 2-0 now to Brunson. Her base hit was her first hit of this series. It was 0 for 3, but had reached base a couple times via the walk. The 2-0, swing and a miss by Brunson. And the count moves to 2-1. Madison Taylor and the entire Michigan State bullpen has been great so far today. And I'm going to sit Brunson down. Keep that defense at work as Michigan State leads 6-2. Looking to pull off the upset here on Sunday. The 2-1. That one outside for a ball, and the count's 3-1. So a good hitter's count here now for Brunson.
Yeah, this is the time to strike for Penn State. Haley Brunson is the 4-hitter for a reason, has power in that bat, and especially in the 3-1 count. Going to want to take advantage if she sees something that she likes.
Taylor, the 3-1 delivery, that one in there for a strike. Was a late call there by Gil Zayas behind home plate, and now the count moves full.
Yeah, I think Brunson knew it was a strike, but as you mentioned, that was a pretty late call.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Michigan State leading 6-2. Maddie Gordon stands on first. Taylor, the payoff pitch. That one swung on and grounded into a chop foul. It's right by Beshears, and we'll do the 3-2 again.
Yeah, a little early in that one, but a good rip at the plate, went down the line, just foul. But now staying alive in this at-bat, full count with 2 outs. So, and now look at Maddie Gordon. She'll know, can run on anything here because there's a full count with 2 outs.
There's Leanna Jones standing in the on-deck circle, and there's going to be time called. I don't think. First time these two have seen each other today. First pitch outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Third base is open, so if Taylor wants, she could walk Leanna Jones and then test her luck with Emily Maddock, who's 1 for 2 today, at a base hit in the 2nd. The 1-0, that one outside for a ball, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, you could mention being a little bit more conservative against Leanna Jones, but you don't want to put the tying run up at bat. Emily Maddock, not a huge power bat, but a great contact hitter that could score some runs as well.
One misses and 3 straight balls, and C. Jones probably taking the entire way, but after hitting a 2-run home run, you might give her the green light here with 2 on and 2 outs. The 3-0 outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk, so just pitching around her there, basically the unintentional intentional walk there by the Spartans, and the bases are loaded with Emily Maddock up, or is Penn State maybe going to have a pinch hitter, and that looks like maybe what they're going to do here. Now it's going to be Michaela Barbonente coming into pinch run. She comes in for Haley Brunson.
It looks like on deck is where they would do a pinch hitter if needed, but Emily Maddock, we talked about great contact skills. Not necessarily afraid of the long ball here, but she definitely finds herself on base a lot, and we talked about it. She's listed at 5 feet tall, so you have to pitch to her because smaller strike zone, and she has one of the best abilities to just put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, so it's Michaela Barbanente, as we mentioned, standing out at second now, so get some more speed.
Yeah, that way a ground ball or ball hit to the outfield, if it's a single, runner at second out would most likely score.
First pitch to Maddock, that one in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. I think maybe that was a conversation when there was 3-2 with Brunson, was to walk and then walk Jones and test your luck here with Emily Maddock, who's 1 for 2 today. Not a lot of power in her bat, but a great contact hitter, so got to be careful. The 0-1 swing and a miss, and Maddock's down 0-2.
And if you look on deck, it's Audrey Mendoza who would be pinch hitting for Giselle Hernandez, so keep your eye on for that.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Taylor looking to work her way out and leave the bases loaded for the Nittany Lions here in the bottom of the 5th as the Spartans lead by 4. That one grounded right back up the middle, bounces off Taylor. Will the throw be in time? It will just be in time. Taylor with a great play as she pitches over to beat out Maddock and keep the Nittany Lions off the scoreboard as we head to the top of the 6th. Michigan State leads by 4 here on Big Ten Plus.
Runs on 1 hit, no errors and 3 runners left on base. Heading to the top of the 6th with the score.
Welcome back here, top of the 6th, and quickly Namath ahead 0-2 now to Alexis Ross. The 0-2, that one missed for a ball, and the count's 1-2. I believe it's 1-2. Scoreboard says 1-1. Adam Sheets, Chris Reynolds with you here as Michigan State leads by 4. Alexis Ross up 9-1-2, due up for the Spartans. So it is a 1-2 count here. That one's going to be outside for a ball, and the count's 2-2. Changes defensively for the Nittany Lions, but Kayla Barbanente will be out in left field now. Liana Jones in center, and Maddie Gordon moves from left field to right field for the Nittany Lions. Infield stays the same.
Right now, there's a huge gap between center fielder and right fielder as they put a shift on for Alexis Ross.
Now going to be chopped to Morrison. The throw to Paletti in time. Good effort by Ross to try to beat it out, and there's one down here in the top of the 6th. As Penn State shift works to perfection, as Jones was coming up, didn't expect Ross to pull it as she tries to slap hit a lot, so pushes everything. That time pulled it a chopper to Morrison, who makes the throw in time to Paletti.
Going back to that last half inning, Adam, we saw a great play by Madison Taylor with that glove flip to first because she had to transfer it to the hand to toss it over. Probably Maddock would have been safe, but made a great play, keep them in front.
First pitch to Holly, popped up in foul territory. Coming on and making the catch is Giselle Hernandez. 2 up, 2 down quickly for Namath as Penn State's trying to keep this a 4-run game.
Yeah, Giselle Hernandez really in for that glove that she has at shortstop. Is a great fielder, what she's done this year so far in her first season at Penn State. Just as a freshman, the ability with the glove, arguably the most important position in the infield.
Anna Fox comes up with 2 outs. First pitch misses for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Fox 0 for 2 today. Reaching a walker first time up and came in to score. Lined into a double play in the 2nd and grounded back to the pitcher in the 4th. The 1-0, that one outside for a ball, and it's 2-0. Penn State, similar shift that we saw for Alexis Ross, now in for Anna Fox, as Jones shades into left center, and the infield comes in, ready for a slap hit here from Fox, which he does a lot. The 2-0, that one chopped to Morrison. She charges on the pitch in time. It's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Nittany Lions. They head to the bottom of the 6th, trailing by 4 on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Will not be in time. Beshears leaped up to try to make the play. Allen rustled over, tried to make the pitch. But Beshears, I don't think she ever got back to the base, so Namath's able to get on. And Penn State's got a base runner with Maddie Gordon coming up.
Yeah, unable to make the play, but that was an incredible attempt as we're going to see a pinch runner coming in. But Colette Allen with that, that shuffle from her hand, just tossing, as you said, Britton Beshears unable to get back to first, but she tried and stretched out of first base, unable to make the play. So Bridget Namath's going to get a single there, but just absolute incredible attempt.
It's going to be Gianna Paletti coming in to pinch run for the Nittany Lions. It was her usual spot in the 9 spot that Namath was hitting in, so Paletti just comes in to run the base pass as Maddie Gordon comes up. Gordon 1 for 3 today. She flew out to the outfield in her first 2 at-bats, but did have a base hit in the 5th. The 1-1, that one low for a ball, and the count, correction, the first pitch, scoreboard wasn't reset, and the count's 1-0.
Yeah, Maddie Gordon found herself on base last time, but her extra base hit streak is, in jeopardy today, Adam.
Trying to keep that streak alive. The 1-0 swing and a miss, and the count's 1-1. Gordon, very dangerous, .355 batting average on the year. Banked .378 with 2 outs, so very good in these type of situations. That base hit in the 5th, her only hit today for the Nittany Lions. The 1-1 swing and a miss, and Taylor quickly works ahead 1-2.
Yeah, an important at-bat here, especially on the Michigan State side. We're going to see Maddie Gordon talking now to the third base coach about, look at the approach. You're down behind the count 1-2 with a runner on, so really want to take advantage, because Penn State, besides that run, they had a lot of runners last inning in the 5th. They had some runners on in the 4th, so want to take advantage here because the offense has been struggling to consistently, have that momentum throughout the game.
Time was called by the Nittany Lions, and after the talk with Coach Adriana Baguetta, Gordon's going to step back up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Michigan State leads 6-2. Gianna Paletti standing on first base. As Taylor looking to get out of the side. The 1-2 swung on and grounded over to third. Anthony off the glove. This will skip into the outfield. Rounding second and heading for third. Gianna Paletti sliding in safely. And Gordon able to take second on the throw as well. So what looked like could have been the 3rd out of the inning skips off Anthony's glove. And the Nittany Lions now have 2 in scoring position in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Maddie Gordon, 2-strike swing, puts the ball in play. And then we talk about Michigan State's defense has been stellar for most of the day. Unable to secure that one, and now Penn State has 2 people in scoring position with 2 out, but they do have Kaylin Morrison, their super senior on the team, who's really that leader of the squad, and now she's up in a big spot here that could really put a dent in this lead.
They're going to roll it in error so Gordon doesn't get the hit. Does advance to second on the throw. As we mentioned, Gianna Paletti got all the way to third, and Caitlin Morrison coming up has 24 RBIs on the year and a golden opportunity, and feels like a must-have for the Nittany Lions with 2 in scoring position with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, trailing by 4. First pitch outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0.
Yeah, you mentioned Gianna Paletti. Saw that ball go into the outfield, got to third base, heads up base running, but it's really Maddie Gordon advancing to second that kind of stole that extra base just by seeing where the throw was going. Now there's 2 runners in scoring position rather than just 1. You
saw there in the Penn State dugout some players dancing, kind of staying loose here for the Nittany Lions. That one bounces into the Michigan State dugout. And the count's 1-1.
Yeah, a lot of energy in that Penn State dugout, as you were saying, and then there's a lot of energy in the stands as well. A lot of people here we've talked about it a lot today. And there's been a lot of opportunities for this Penn State offense, and this is one of the biggest opportunities yet.
Wind blowing heavily out to left, so if Morrison's able to pull one, watch out. The 1-1, that one skips in the dirt, blocked by Hawley, and the count's 2-1. Can't imagine Paletti's going to try to take anything unless it gets way by Hawley.
Yeah, especially now with Caitlin Morrison up at bat, let her swing the bat, and and then Gabby Garcia on deck. If they walk Morrison, you still have another power bat with people on base.
Morrison's 0 for 2 today. The 2-1 swing and a miss, and the count moves 2-2. Looking at Morrison, she was hit by a pitch in the first inning, flew out to right field in the third, and struck out in the fifth. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Penn State's got runners on second and third with Paletti and Gordon. As Taylor's looking to get out of the side and keep this a 4-run Spartans lead. The 2-2, that one outside for a ball, and the count works full. She'd be opposed to walking her here, Chris, if with a full count. You don't want to give anything for her to drive.
Yeah, but once again, Gabby Garcia's on deck, represents the tying run. She's had a grand slam earlier this season, so you are afraid of who's on deck, and you definitely don't want to let Penn State tie it with one swing.
Taylor, the payoff pitch, swung on and chopped foul back, and Morrison able to stay alive, and the Penn State dugout likes that one as Morrison keeps this at-bat and this bottom of the sixth. An opportunity for Penn State to cut into this deficit with Paletti on third, Gordon on second, and Taylor for the Spartans just trying to get out of this thing.
Yeah, Michigan State has done a good job of getting out of trouble so far. This is their biggest challenge yet.
The payoff pitch swung on the line right back, but Taylor with an unbelievable catch. She almost had one earlier, able to keep that one in the glove. And Michigan State leaves 2 Nittany Lions stranded. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Spartans lead by 4 here on Big Ten Plus. The 0-1 swung on and popped up foul out of play, and the count's 0-2.
Yeah, we talked about her defense before, too. Kind of sold that show with that throw to third to get out Emily Maddock, and then also made that diving play earlier. So a little quiet the first 2 games, but the third game was kind of her breakout party here at Beard Field.
No balls, 2 strikes. Navy looking at the all-important first out of this top of the 7th. That one chopped back to the backstop, and it'll stay 0-2. Britton Beshears stands in the on-deck circle for the Spartans. So they're looking for some insurance here as they lead by 4. Penn State will have a chance in the bottom of the 7th.
Penn State still in striking distance, definitely not out of it, and they've shown that they've gotten a lot of opportunities, unable to take advantage yet. So Michigan State definitely wants to add some runs.
The 0-2 was high and inside, and the count's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch swung on and pushed foul down the first base side, all the way to the Penn State bullpen. They'll stay 1-2. How important of a win would it be for the Spartans when head coach Sharonda McDonald-Kelly in her 2nd season? It would be a big momentum boost for her as she kind of continues to try to build the Spartans program.
Yes, definitely a big upset victory that could get your program going this season, get some momentum in the conference play. That would be huge momentum going into Michigan.
Now it moves to 2-2 as that pitch was high from Namath. Nittany Lions still looking to come back and get the sweep of the Spartans. The 2-2 swung on and popped up out to center. Liana Jones goes back and makes the catch, and there's one down here in the top of the 7th for the Nittany Lions. Good contact by Dolazecki, but right to Liana Jones out there in center.
Yeah, had a nice line drive, but Liana Jones has a great glove out in center. We saw her make a really nice play yesterday. That one ranges back, reaches up, makes the catch, and 1 out so far for Penn State, trying to have a quiet top of the 7th.
Britton Beshears 1 for 3 today. First pitch high and outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Shears had an RBI single in the first and struck out in the 2nd and the 5th. The 1-0 from Namath, that one misses for a ball, and the count's 2-0. For Penn State, they're looking for their first sweep since back in March when they swept the Hoosiers. That one gets through for a base hit, and Britton Beshears will be 2 for 4 today. Perfectly placed ball in the infield, and Michigan State's got a base runners are looking for that insurance.
Yeah, hard hit ball through the left side of the field. Nothing you do there as Emily Maddox, Giselle Hernandez, they're not getting that one because that ball was absolutely smoked.
Like we're going to have a pinch runner here for the Spartans as they go to the bench. It's Haley Bila coming in on the base paths for Britton Beshears.
Yeah, Michigan State, as we talked about, going to get another chance this at bat, as Haley Bila is now going to be at first as Janae Wash is up at bat.
The 1-1 swung on and popped up on the inside of the bat. Making the catch is Gianna Paletti, and now there's 2 down. So after all that, we're back to the same situation. Only difference is Bila will be standing on first instead of Janae Wash.
Yeah, a lot of confusion, but basically the outcome's the same, and now this should most likely be a normal at bat here.
Yeah, Colette Allen now steps up, batting .213 on the year. She's 1 for 2 today. Had a double and came around to score in the second inning, walked in the third, and grounded out to short in the fifth. That pitch outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Michigan State looking for their second conference win of the season. The 1-0, that one inside for a ball, and it's 2-0.
Talk about Haley Bila, has a lot of space, has a lot of speed on the base paths, and with her getting to stay on the field, Gabby Garcia has to stay pretty aware behind home plate, maybe going to have to throw down.
The 2-0, swing and a miss. Thought about going. The throw over to first. Will it be in time? It will not be. Good slide there by Bila. And right call there by Elizabeth Hammerschmidt from my vantage point. It looked like she slid in safely. It was a smart idea as by Garcia to throw down to Paletti as Bila got way off the base, and the count will move to 2-1.
Yeah, just talked about the fact that she's going to have to stay alert, and that one almost got her. Just a slide that really avoided the tag well.
2-1, swing and a miss, and now the count's 2-2. So Namath does a great job fighting back in this at-bat against Colette Allen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Allen there looking to keep this inning alive for the Spartans. They lead by 4, would love to add some more before they head to the 7th. The 2-2, swing and a miss, and Namath gets the strikeout to end the inning. The Nittany Lions will need 4 to keep this game going as we head to the bottom of the 7th on Big Ten Plus. Garcia steps up, first pitch inside for a ball, and the count's 1-0.
Yeah, you talked about, Adam, it would be a huge win to get your second conference win, especially against a really good Penn State team. It should be a huge win for Michigan State. And for Penn State, you don't want to go down, you want to go down fighting. You want to try your hardest here, try to get some base runners on.
1-0 inside for a ball, and it's 2-0. Garcia, as you saw there, was 0 for 3 today. She struck out looking in the first, flew out to center in the 4th and the 5th. Kind of like a hitter batting .333. Sounds like she might be due here.
Yeah, we talked about her, had a good series, had that home run yesterday to tie it. She does lead the team in RBIs with 32.
The 2-0, that one in there for a strike, and the count's 2-1.
Obviously, an extra base hit or something of that nature would be great, but down 4 runs, just getting on base is the main goal here. You need to just get on, not get out, and just give your batters behind you a chance to drive you home.
Taylor taking a long look at the wristband. The 2-1, that one high on a heater, and the count's now 3-1, so hitters count for Garcia, so anything in the zone, gotta think she's thinking about driving it. Wind pushing out, right to dead center it looks like right now. (3-1), that one in there for a strike on the outside corner, and the count works full. Garcia still has yet to swing the bat in this at-bat, and now with a payoff pitch, Taylor looking to get that all-important first out of the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, this would be a big out here. Just try to go through the 7th quietly, not have any momentum from Penn State.
Payoff pitch grounded through. Allen able to stop it, makes a throw high, and it's going to get off the dugout and step. Not looking good as Garcia. I don't know if she stepped on Beshears' foot or just kind of tripped over the bag, but able to get on nonetheless. She'll reach on the error.
Yeah, it looked like Britton Beshears jumped to catch the ball, but when she landed, was kind of standing in front of the base, and Gabby Garcia got a little tripped up there, but she seems okay. There's going to be a pinch runner for her. That'll be Jenna Nelson on first now for Gabby Garcia.
Yeah, Jenna Nelson gets some more speed on the base pass for the Nittany Lions.
Penn State got a huge break there as well. An error by, Colette Allen. Obviously not ideal. You're not up 4 runs, not a huge deal yet, but Penn State, now they at least have some bright spot. They can try to get some momentum going as there are no outs now.
Now Brunson steps up. She's 1 for 2 today, a very dangerous hitter. Started out in right field, was subbed out for Michaela Barbanente. Now back in the lineup here. First pitch misses for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Brunson settling in. Lefty on lefty matchup here, the 1-1. The 1-0 was fouled off, and now the count moves to 1-1. Got ahead of myself a little bit there, Chris.
Yeah, Haley Brunson, we talked about her a lot today. Got on base twice, had a single and a walk, and earlier this series did not have a hit Friday or Saturday, but is very good at drawing walks, very disciplined hitter.
The 1-1 outside, and it's 2-1 now to Brunson. Jenna Nelson standing over there on first. Brunson 1 for 2 today. One hit was a base hit, came around to score on the 2-run home run from Liana Jones. As Jones stands in the on-deck circle. 2-1, that one outside, and it's 3-1 now to Brunson.
Madison Taylor's done a great job at this point getting out of trouble, but Liana Jones is on deck, and Michigan State has some arms warming up in their bullpen if needed.
Taylor the 3-1, that one in there for a strike, and again the count works full. Back-to-back at-bats, we've seen the count work full for the Nittany Lions. Garcia was able to get on the error, and now here's Haley Brunson. Try to find her way on. The payoff pitch swung on and pulled foul. And they'll do the 3-2 again. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. There's Liana Jones standing in the on-deck circle. She's responsible for both runs on the 2-run home run back in the 4th inning for the Nittany Lions. The payoff pitch swung on and pushed out to left field. Going back and making the catch is Janae Wash. There's one down as Nelson heads back, and there's the first out for the Spartans with Liana Jones coming up.
Yeah, seen a lot of that today for Penn State. Just a lot of good at-bats, good swings, just good defense from Michigan State. Balls going right to the players. But now Liana Jones coming up. We talked about a 2-run home run earlier, driving in the only 2 runs today. Looking for more of that similar success in the 7th inning.
Wind pushing out now more to right center for Liana Jones. Saw her hit a home run over that way earlier this series. First pitch outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. 1 for 2 today, has the 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Also reached on a walk in the 5th. It was basically an intentional walk as they just pitched around her. It was 4 straight pitches. 1-0, that one high for a ball, and it's 2-0. Jenna Nelson standing over on first as Madison Taylor looking to navigate this situation with a 4-run lead. Get the Spartans their 2nd conference win.
That last at-bat was important to Haley Brunson because if she got on base, it can't really pitch around Liana Jones, but you can be a little bit more conservative now pitching around her because she's been having a good series, and now with Emily Maddock on deck, she's no longer the tying run that she would have been if Haley Brunson did get on base.
Ever since the 2-run home run, it's been 7 straight balls thrown to Liana Jones. We'll see if there's another one coming here, or if maybe the Spartans try to attack the strike zone. The 3-0, that one right down the middle for a strike. Jones was rightfully taken the entire way, and the count moves 3-1.
Yeah, maybe if you were down 2 or down 1, you could swing on 3-0, but down by 4, you're going to be more conservative at the plate as well, trying to draw, walk, get more base runners.
Taylor, the 3-1, that one away for a ball, and it's a 5-pitch walk, and Penn State's got second base runner here with Emily Maddock coming up as Jones makes her way down to first. Back-to-back walks for Liana Jones.
Yeah, you could tell right now they don't really want to pitch to her again. Already gone deep twice this series, but now Emily Maddock coming up at bat. Maddock you're not as afraid of because she doesn't have that long ball, but you've seen what she's done this whole series with that contact. Ground out to the pitcher last time, that hard hit ball, and that ball that hit, made a great play to get her out earlier.
That one high for a ball to Maddock, and the count's 1-0. Giselle Hernandez stands in the on-deck circle. As Maddock just trying to find her way onto the base paths. Keep this inning alive. 1 out, 1-0 count. Runners on second and first. The 1-0, that one outside for a ball, and it's 2-0. Jenna Nelson standing on second. Liana Jones standing on first for the Nittany Lions.
You definitely want to try to get on base, bring up that tying run, give yourself a chance to tie the game at the very least. And Emily Maddock, one of the best on the team in terms of just getting on base. So looking for more of the same, more of a slap type of hitter, just poking out to the opposite side of the field. Let's see what she does here.
The 2-0 looks like she was running up for a slap hit, doesn't swing, and that one's in there for a strike, and the count's now 2-1. Taylor, as Chris has mentioned, has been very good at getting out of situations. The last 3 Penn State innings, they've had 2 stranded in the 4th, 3 stranded in the 5th, and 2 stranded in the 6th. 2-1. One misses inside for a ball, and it's now 3-1.
We talked about Maddock too, 5 feet tall is what she's listed as. So smaller strike zone, and that actually helps in the situation trying to draw a walk, get another base runner.
Penn State, as you saw, had the rally visors on for them here as the Nittany Lions trying to rally a comeback. The 3-1. That one low for a ball, and it's a walk. Taylor confused where that one missed, but Penn State's loaded up the bases, and the tying run coming to the plate with Giselle Hernandez.
Yeah,
Hernandez shows the bat as she's been doing a lot, pulls back the first pitch in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1.
And behind her on deck, if needed, is Brooke Clausewitz, who we've seen having a great series so far. Did have a fly out to center field in the 6th, but besides that has reached base every single time in this series.
Hernandez, the 0-1. That one in there for a strike on the outside corner, and the count's now 0-2.
Yeah, that spot on the outside part of the plate, that's the one that, you know, a lot of pitchers have been upset with not being called a strike, but that one called a strike, and now Madison Taylor has a 2-strike advantage in this count.
Taylor, the 0-2, that one swing and a miss, and it's a 3-pitch strikeout, a big one there for Madison Taylor, and Penn State's down to their final out with Brooke Clausewitz coming up.
Yeah, it was a big strikeout, not allowing anyone to score and getting another out. Huge, huge strikeout there. Now, we talked about her before. Brooke Clausewitz having herself a great series, had the pinch hits on Friday and Saturday, and now looking for, you know, a big hit here to score some runs.
4 for 5 this series, 2 for 3 today, as 2 base hits flew out to center last time up. First pitch misses for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Clausewitz, a freshman in a big situation. Gianna Paletti stands in the on-deck circle if Clausewitz is able to get on. Clausewitz does represent the tying run. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-0 count here to Clausewitz. Taylor, the 1-0 delivery, that one in there for a strike on a heater, and the count's 1-1.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the 1-1 count. Now it's pretty even. Brooke Clausewitz yet to swing, looking to be aggressive, be a hitter in this at bat. You know, Penn State's got lucky with Madison Taylor struggling with her control a little bit, but trying to be aggressive here.
The 1-1 pulled, and that one's going to go foul down the third base line, and the count moves 1-2. So Clausewitz down to the final strike for the Nittany Lions as they trail 6-2.
Yeah, pressure is mounting. Down to your final strike, got to be protective at the plate. Can't go down looking. Definitely going to want to at least swing at the very least, put the ball in play. We see the Michigan State defense has been very solid, but made a few errors these last few innings.
Runners running on any contact here, so Penn State should be able to score a couple if there is any. The 1-2, that one popped up out to shallow center. Coming on and making the catch is Alexis Ross, and the Spartans get their 2nd win in conference play this season with a 6-2 win over the Nittany Lions, and Michigan State gets the upset.
Yeah, Michigan State has done an incredible job under pressure. You know, they've bent, but they did not break in these situations, held on to their lead 6-2. Kind of like Penn State yesterday in Saturday's game. Penn State got into trouble, but managed to get out of it. Today, flip the script. Michigan State comes away with the 6-2 victory, and Penn State, though, does win the series 2-1.